And for more on the Republican race, we're joined by Major Garrett, White House correspondent for the National Journal. He joins us from our Washington bureau this morning. Good morning to you, Major.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
So they are running neck and neck, but the latest poll shows Santorum has this slight lead over Romney. How devastating is a Romney loss in his home state?
Well, if Mitt Romney loses Michigan, he will have established his own expectations, saying he's going to win. And if he loses, I think, and I wrote earlier this week at National Journal, that every aspect of momentum, inevitability, and potency the Romney campaign has always told Republicans was their biggest and most important advantage disappears. Michigan is really not just a battleground state electorally in the general election. It is the most important state for Romney to prove that he is, in fact, the likely GOP nominee and the best GOP nominee. If he loses there, all of that ability to make that case goes away.
So are you saying, Major, essentially that a Romney loss in Michigan could mean a Democratic win in the general election?
Well, I think you have to look at Michigan as a likely Democratic state anyway. It sets up that way historically, at least in modern presidential history. It's tended toward the Democrats. If Romney is the nominee or whoever the Republican nominee is, it would be a very difficult battle to make Michigan really a swing state in the general election. But for Romney to talk to other Republicans, if he doesn't win his own home state after having a big lead and then clawing his way back into it, I think he'd have a hard time saying, look, I've got momentum. And if Santorum wins, then you've got on Super Tuesday, Ohio. That sets up very well for him. Tennessee, Oklahoma, other places where he could roll up not only victories, but delegates.
So you think this could actually, Michigan could point to the outcome on Super Tuesday as well?
If, in fact, Romney loses. But I think Romney has a good chance of winning in Michigan, and I think he's going to win in Arizona. Remember, there are 59 delegates up for grabs on Tuesday. Arizona's 29 will be awarded winner take all. So if Romney wins even narrowly in Michigan, he could walk away with most of the delegates going to Super Tuesday with refreshed and renewed momentum. He could put Ohio in play, possibly take Georgia away from Gingrich, where he's supposedly the front runner there. So that's why I think Michigan is very important for Romney. Santorum can survive either way. A narrow loss in Michigan is not devastating for Santorum, but I think a loss of any magnitude in Michigan could really undercut Romney.
Watching this entire election play out, it's been like a horse race. One person's in the lead, the next person's in the lead. How clear do you think of an indication these next 10 days are going to be about who the GOP candidate ultimately will be that goes to the general election?
Well, it really depends on how Romney carries out this next Tuesday's two sets of contests. As I said, if he wins Michigan and Arizona, even if he wins Michigan narrowly and Arizona somewhat comfortably, I think he reestablishes his momentum. After his debate performance earlier this week, I think a lot of lean Romney voters said, you know, that's why we've always been in his camp. And I think Romney, if he does consolidate that, really moves into Super Tuesday with genuine momentum and puts aside Santorum. But if the opposite happens, then I think you really have a dogfight. You might have some renewed conversation among Republicans about someone stepping in, but I've always doubted that there is a white knight. Those who've said they're not going to run are not going to re-enter this race now. It'll just create more volatility, and Santorum and Romney will continue to fight state by state and delegate by delegate for that magic number of 1,144.
Great information, Major Garrett. Thanks for joining us with your analysis this morning.
My pleasure.